Okay, is that... Yes, it is. Okay. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Brotato. I have been playing this in the meantime, between editing videos, and I've actually won a run. And it's not with Old Man. It was with the Engineer. And I figured that Engineer is probably the best path if you want completionism. If you want to beat any of the danger waves, Engineer is the way to go. And I'll show you how with my favorite character, Old. Because what Old gets is he gets the choice of a screwdriver or a wrench right off the bat. And what we want is the wrench, because of how good those are. Wrenches spawn turrets and can be upgraded to level 4 turrets, which just shoot missiles, which is very important for later on. And God, it's hot in my room. I should really turn on the air. The difference between Old Man right now and the Engineer is that the Engineer spawns with 2 of whatever you choose. I think it's either 2 wrenches, 2 screwdrivers, I think a plank he can also get, but basically he starts off with 2 sentries, 2 untouchables. And the good thing about these is that they can't be harmed in any way, shape, or form, which is great for us. And what we want to focus on is basically max health and health recovery, or health regeneration. Lifesteal's it's hit or miss on what I feel about it, but here's my thing about lifesteal. If we get it to -2, which we do have a lot of things that do that, I can then start working on various other things. Because if we have constant health regeneration faster than the enemies can hurt us, then it's just left to our sentries doing all the work. We don't have to worry about melee or ranged, as well as just focusing on dodge. You see, the sentries and landmines don't follow the basic needs that I do. If my ranged goes up, it doesn't affect them in any sort of way, but secondary stuff does. Things like piercing damage, explosion bonuses, that sort of stuff helps them, and that's exactly what we want for them. But my primary stats do not affect them in the slightest, which is why I'm going to mainly focus on dodge. Dodge usually makes you sacrifice movement speed, armor, and even, your weapon attacks, like melee and ranged, for the ability of better dodge, which is a fair trade-off if you try to go for that sort of invisible ghost sort of build. And I actually got a character called Ghost, who you get for having 60 plus dodge. I'm gonna go with lifesteal. Then we want to increase dodge. Take that wrench. And right now what I want to do is I just want to stock up on tools. We don't want to stock up on anything unnecessary. And if it looks like I'm wasting my money, I'm not. I'm looking for very specific items. This is very different from your other Cucco storytime videos while I'm playing this, because I'm actually trying to win now that I have a fair strategy. No, there's not really much to report on me. I haven't really done much. I'm more focusing on a lot of video essays right now, and right now my mind is scattered all over the place with projects I have, as well as life, as well as summer coming to a close. Hard to believe as is. It's that time where people start going back to school. Fall's gonna be here. I love Halloween. I truly do. I think what I want to do is I want to get this base one and then save the level 2 for another time. None of these. This is what we want. This is a good one. Duct tape is really good. We also want to focus on engineering. Engineering also increases the efficiency of our placements. That's good. You see how they're just unable to get past? Those guys are a problem. Those Sidla sloths are a big problem because they can just shoot me. And when you have 60 plus dodge, it's like nothing can hurt you. I have wanted to reach 100% dodge just to see what would happen. Could you actually get hurt with 100 dodge? I doubt you could actually cheese the system that way, but then again, it'd be a heck of a dedication to it. But yeah, I've been good. A lot of trying to just survive. Sort of, dang it, I wanted to upgrade my stuff. Just trying to survive. My brother as his kid is almost here, has bought a chair for the nursery for them to like sit and have the baby rest on their chest. And while we were shopping for this chair, we kept thinking we were going to get kicked out because the salespeople kept looking at us every time we would sit down, because we had this nasty habit among the three of us, me and my two brothers, to take every chair and recline it as much upwards so that the legs were outward, and then recline the back inwards as well as the headrest. And it made it the most uncomfortable thing. And you might be thinking, why would you do that? First off, why not? See, look at that. We already have a level 3. We're going to combine these two. We're going to get that. We're going to get this. And we're going to lock this in. And then combine that. That's good stuff. Oh, baby. Oh, you spoil me. I'm such a filthy little boy this Christmas. God, it's like having a sugar mama. Yeah, but see, now it's a level 3 turret. Level 3 turrets are really good because they freeze and slow the enemies. And that mixed with the rockets we're later going to get on are really great. I do wish the level 4s were a lot better, but it is what it is. The level 4s just become missile turrets, and don't get me wrong, the missiles are insanely busted. But if you had to ask me what would I rather have, missile damage of explosions or freezing them, I'm going to go with freezing, because freezing is just so annoying to deal with, especially with how small the arena is. I'll take it whatever advantage I can get to keep them away from me. Yeah, but like as we're going around, for some reason, like the place we went to decided to set up like all these ornate decorations. Like it's supposed to be like, hey, imagine this is your home. And, you know, this is what your living room looks like with this furniture. But it's like, who has, like, 50-pound stoned pigeons in their living room, lady? And you think I'm exaggerating on that. No, they literally had these 50-pound stone pigeons just scattered across the place. They had these smaller ones, too. And I don't know why, but every time I would get lost from my family with them looking for a chair, I would just take one of those pigeons and hide them in like one of those hollowed out consoles in the center of a couch. Like, you know, the ones that have like the USB ports and areas you could store drinks? Yeah, I would always hide a stone pigeon in there. And for some reason, they had a book called the Communist Manifesto just lying around. And I was like, what is this? Like, it was one of those decorative books, so it was just a blank cover with a blank back, so you couldn't tell what story it actually was until you opened the page. And there it was, just the Communist Manifesto with the sickle and hammer, just like old Stalin wanted. That's some good money. Alright, so we're going to want to increase our dodge. What's our dodge at right now? 15%. You have to keep in mind, our dodge is based off of a percentage. So when you look at the percent that we have, you have to realize or keep in mind that that's 15% chance. 15% chance of every time being attacked, they miss me, they whiff me. You know, I'm doing the cha-cha real smooth as they try to cut me open. But yeah, working on video essays, it's just been a lot of work trying to get them done, and there are just video essays I make that are complete misses. I'm still proud of them as a product, but it's just like I make them and I go, God, I really thought this would do well. Like the Ocean Gate 2 video I did where it's like talking about Project Moon Hut and how absurd it is and stupid it is, and how it could eventually lead to a Challenger Explosion 2.0. But it's like, that got very little views. I think it mainly got little views because it involving the Ocean Gate Titan submersible implosion could very well be I'm not sacrificing dodge. What are you, high? More damage, more health regen, please. And this is one thing I wanted to get to, the circular saw, because when it came down to it, when I was playing Engineer, I had 4 level 4 wrenches. Those are the ones that do sentries, right? Yeah. So this is the one that does turrets. I had 4 of these, 4 level 4 turrets, and then 1 level 4 screwdriver and a level 3 screwdriver. I thought about getting the circular saw, but it's just not worth it. Ooh, we want this. We want the water bear. We want this for armor. I'll take that. We're going to lock in the white flag. Spawns a little guy that slowly shoots 10 pierce. Why have I never seen Tyler before? What the heck? He's awesome. Why is my health purple? That's weird. Is my health just like in a Super Saiyan state because of my health regen? No, it's only level 9. Oh, I know why. It's because I have the water bear. I just put it together. The water bear is 1 free hit every round. It's not just 1 and done. It's every round I get 1 free hit, which can come very handy. But what I wish it did was it counted the hit as a dodge, and if it fails that check, then it does the water bear. Because my dodge doesn't mean anything at the end of the day. But hey, I'll take anything. We'll take everything that prolongs my miserable, old, decrepit ass longer than it should. You know, I'm out here yelling at Denny's waitresses for giving me black coffee when I specifically asked for black coffee. God, I'm as funny as a beloved family member being put down. Oh yeah, candles are also good. We get less enemies, which, don't get me wrong, can be good, but at the same time it's a problem because of EXP. If we're going for completion, I want as much EXP as possible to spend in the store. That way, when it comes to the boss, we have maxed out equipment. The boss comes around every 20 waves, or if you get to wave 20, the game is then over. And that's the whole objective. When you get to wave 19 and beat it, you can extend it by going endless mode if you want to go for certain stat changes. But with what we have, I think it's important we beat everyone's story first and then go for the specifics. Like there's one that's about healing 200 health in a round, and don't get me wrong, that sounds cool, that sounds awesome, but at the same time, we can't really do that within 20 waves. We would have to go pretty deep into endless, and at that point, it's just not worth it. So I'm going to recycle this just because I need the stuff. I need it. I seed it. Oh, baby, you're really putting on the lingerie for me. God dang. Really trying to seduce. Now, see, here's the thing. What do I have? Level 3. I should probably get rid of... No, I don't think I should get rid of that. Alright, how many... We have 3 screwdrivers. Why do we have 3? Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to lock this in, because I have a plan. If we get a high enough level wrench, I'm going to sacrifice our level 1 wrench and for whatever level that is, even if it's level 2. If we get a level 3, that's perfect, because then we free up 2 slots. And we can get down and boogie with that. I still need to get the flag. I probably should have... Here's what I'm going to do. Because this is perfect for me. I'm going to take the screwdriver, because this then sets us up for a perfect... There. Okay. So now we have 2 level 4 screwdrivers. I don't think I want any more screwdrivers. Maybe one more. Maybe one more. Honestly, these are all good. I'm going to get rid of that one just because level 2 is better. Yeah. And with this round, if we closed out perfectly, we should... Oh man, look at Tyler. Dude, I could just sit next to Tyler. Dang. The good thing about the engineer, though, is that one of his special quirks is that all deployables spawn close to each other. So basically, you just have this camp of sentries, landmines, and Tyler. And it's very hard for the enemies to get past, because when they cluster together, it's them focusing on like a singular target. And with level 5 turrets like this, they have explosion damage, which is splash. Therefore, it can't be really countered by a single enemy. And if they stick close together like they do these groups, then you're just tearing them apart. But recently, though, in a more personal note, I have been trying to get back into watching anime. I recently just watched Dragon Ball Super with... I know people complain about how unhinged Dragon Ball gets, but honestly, I just enjoy it just because I'm there for the fights, I'm there for the silliness of it all. I don't really care about the semantics of, oh, this and that. It doesn't really bother me. But, I was really upset because I was watching the Future Trunks arc, which could have been so hype. The Future Trunks arc could have been super dope, but I feel they just plowed through it too fast, and because of that, plus 3% damage at the end of the way. I'll do this. I'll keep that in. I'll put that in my LinkedIn profile. Ooh, we want this. We want this. Star Wave with minus 50 HP. Now, is that total HP? Oh, wait, no. Starts waves. So it's constant. That could be good. That could, but I think our old man's good. I'm not gonna get the sad tomato. And the good thing about Tyler is that he's not a weapon. He's a standby effect, which I like. Which means I could probably get multiple of them if I tried. Yeah, but going back to Dragon Ball, like, the Future Trunk arc could have been so much cooler with Zamasu, but they were literally like, ow, we got our butts kicked. Let's go back in time and regroup. And then, oh, they come back. Hey, I figured out how to go Super Saiyan God. Oh no, let's go back to the past again. And it's like, what? You guys nearly died like 30 times. And then there's that infamous scene, which is really cringe, where Goku doesn't know what a kiss is. I'm like, really? Toriyama? That ain't funny, man. Like, rest in peace, Toriyama, but Jesus Christ, man. You can't tell me a guy who's had 3 kids. Wait, 2 kids, because technically Zygor isn't his legal kid. I'm not getting into this. I'm not getting into the semantics. We'll take the extra harvesting. That's always good. More HP, please. Yes, yes. Alright. Lock it in. Boom. Yeah, but you see how it's coming together? And if you play everyone like this, it gets really out of hand. Like, Old Man is probably the worst because of how bad he is. And the only person I can't really do this for is a new character I got called One Arm, who can only carry one weapon because of reasons. And if I were to do that, what weapon would I do? Like, I don't know if they start me off with a level 1 or if I go straight to level 4. Because if I go straight to level 4, I'd probably want something that has good attack speed to it. I wouldn't want something slow. Maybe like the Metagun. A level 4 Metagun would actually be pretty busted. I thought about going back and watching original Dragon Ball Z though, but it's like, I saw Dragon Ball Z so much growing up, as well as playing through it so many times on all the games that they had for Dragon Ball. Like, that's my biggest complaint about Bandai, is that Dragon Ball has reached this very big point to where all the games don't need to follow the same 3 arcs, where it's like, you go through the Saiyan arc, and then you go through the Namek arc, then the Frieza arc, and then you go on to Cell, and then you go on, well, you go on to Androids, then you go Cell Saga, and then you go Majin Buu. And it's like, oh, Xenoverse 2. The thing they did that was different between that and the first game was that they included up to Resurrection F. It's like, what? Resurrection F happened so early in Super. And I know by that point, Super was basically done. It was basically wrapped up. Because that came out in 2016, I think. Still a good game, if you ask me. But it's like, if they're going to create Dragon Ball games, and especially with like Sparking Zero coming out, I hope they stop making the story modes so generic from what came before it. It's like, can we please just go beyond Dragon Ball Z's storyline? Can we finally evolve Super and all that to a real in-depth point? But, I've been meaning to watch, Jujutsu Kaisen. People have been recommending that to me, and they're like, oh, if you like Dragon Ball, you'll like Jujutsu Kaisen. I'm like, yeah, I've heard it's good. I'm not going to sit here and fanboy over it because, well, I haven't seen it yet, number one. And number two, I've seen some of the wild things that the JJK community has done. If you know the Gojo sideshow statue video, then you know exactly my problems with them and how unhinged they are. If you've never seen that video and you don't know what I'm talking about, then bless your soul, you're one of the pure ones, and don't go seeking out. It's really messed up. You know, I was at Giant Eagle the other day, and to get to the... I mean, not to get, but to, like, one of the aisles I just passed down while, like, shopping, and just unironically, and looking around is... you know, the feminine hygiene product. Not because I'm looking for anything in there, it's just because, you know, you can't help but just walk around the entire store and find yourself there. It's like being in Disney World and you somehow find yourself in the gift shop. Like, how the heck did I end up here? Must be destiny, gotta buy something. But they had Jujutsu Kaisen menstruation pads. And I'm like, why? What girl wants to have her period on Gojo? And I'm like looking at these like, God, the world's unhinged. The world truly has gone mad. That's good for us. I'm not going to look at anything else. Alright, so right now we want a level 3 wrench just to get us another turret. In a perfect world, in a sunshine perfect world, I would have 3 wrenches, 3 screwdrivers, all level 4. But I want more sentries than I do landmines. Landmines are good, but... unless I... plus, actually, I could get more sentries and landmines if I go through the standard upgrades. Like, if I get them a part of my items. Which it can happen. It is a thing that can happen. Like this guy here. Incendiary turret. But in order to get those, we'd have to be lucky. And our luck is 26. Not bad. It's like... yeah, I think I would equivalent, is that even a word? I don't know. Please pardon my Ohio accent of stupidity. But it's kind of the equivalent thing of having a condom with like Mickey Mouse on it. It's like, I wouldn't want Michael Mouse doing that. Can't go above base damage. Well, I don't think that affects my turrets. I'll take both of those. Michael Mouse is no friend of mine, damn straight. More dodge, thank you. Nothing at all. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to unlock this. Just because I want more slots. Because with more slots, more luck. Yeah, since we're on disturbing stories, I guess I'll tell you one my mom told me. So my mom worked retail for quite a while at this one store that I also worked at eventually when it moved to a newer location. But in this old location, it was on a very sketchy street. Like, I remember my mom would take me to work sometimes just so I could use the Wi-Fi to watch YouTube and porn. Not even gonna lie to you. And as I'm setting up my stuff in this like back office area, I'm looking around the store just to be like take it all in. Of like, hey, this is where my mom works. Like, ooh, ah, banana. And as I'm looking out the window, there's this homeless guy pissing. And he's not even trying to hide it. His dong is out facing the street. And he literally, as he's holding his wiener, gives me the wave. He just starts waving to me. And I'm just like, what? No. This can't be real. And that reminds me, also, my brother, he works in the city that my mom worked in, and he has to go into his office sometimes. And what he does is he's a consultant and overseer for some projects that need to be done, mainly with environmentalists. Can't say any more of that, or I'll probably be sued by them. But, who will take this, actually, just because more enemies is good for me right now. But he tells me that because of the homeless problem in the city, whenever he takes this like skyway up to his office, there's so many homeless people there. It's like an encampment site for them. And there's so many of them that the cops just don't care. They won't come and take them away. And nor does the company care because no one's at the office that much. But my brother, as he's walking in with dress shirt and khakis and a briefcase, looks over and there's this tall homeless guy peeing in the corner, doesn't even break stride, and gives him like the 2-finger wave, you know, where you just kind of stick up your 2 fingers. And he's like, in that moment, I never wanted to go back to the office. Which is respectable. I'm more impressed the dude didn't break stride. You know what that means? It means he's used to peeing in front of people. Man's probably been to prison. God rest. Why do I say God rest? He's probably still alive. Probably still peeing in that corner. But he describes the smell of being in that skyway as living inside of a urinal. Not pleasant. Not in the slightest. Good to see they know what I'm going for. Your max HP is capped at its current value. No, fool, that's stupid. Minus range, take that. Level 3 wrench, there we go. Wait. These are actually all really good for me, and especially at the point I'm in. Yeah, but other than that, I've never really had any encounters with the homeless. There was this one time my mom told me. This was the original story I wanted to tell before I got distracted by telling you about me seeing a homeless man peeing in the street. There was this one time, this like UPS driver comes into my mom's work and asks for a bathroom. And they had like this like really rinky-dink toilet installed because the landlord was a cheap man who didn't want to spend the extremities of building another bathroom for them. Because if you wanted to go to the bathroom in this store, you had to go to the restaurant that was behind it through a back door that we usually kept locked and we didn't have available for customers. And what you would do is you'd go through there, you go to the end of the hallway, turn right, go down a flight of stairs, turn right again, and there's the bathroom. Not really convenient if you work in that store. So what he did was create this little disgusting back shed where you just pee and poo into, and from there it only got worse. Well, this is kind of useless now. If anything, we want just level 4 stuff right off the bat. Yes, we'll take this. Reroll. Nothing. No, actually, I'm thinking I don't want this anymore. Just because I saw the damage I took after I got hit, it's not worth it. But this little rinky-dink shack, you have this UPS driver just come in, and he's like holding his stomach. He's giving you the groans of despair. He's like, oh. He's like, where's the bathroom? I don't know why I made him southern, but he is in my retelling. But the dude goes, where's the bathroom? And the manager at the time goes, oh, it's right through there. Dude locks the door and is in there, and by my mom's own depiction, sounded like he was fighting for his life. Oh, what do you know? I died. But sounded like he was fighting for his life, which I'd believe. Sounds about right if you're a man and you've had to take a shite before. But as he's in there, you can just start smelling what he's cooking. Like he's brewing something fierce in there, and you don't know what it is he's cooking. Oh, they don't give me a level 4 for this guy. Oh my god. Can I get the meta gun? I can't get the meta gun. What does this do? Bounces up to 1 time on critical hits. I have to make it to level 20 with this guy? How am I going to upgrade my gun? I'll get back to my story in just a bit. I gotta figure this out. Actually, you know what? I'll try the lightning ship. So, where was I? Oh, yeah. So, you can start smelling what he's cooking. He comes out like 13 minutes later. And he's like wiping his brow and he's like, good luck cleaning that up. That is his actual response to destroying that toilet. And from what my mom said, this man pooped everywhere but the toilet. He had hit everything except his objective. How? How exactly? Oh, just buying it upgrades it. Cool, gotcha, okay. So I'm gonna want this. Oh, so this guy should be... Okay, so then I actually have a good idea about this. Oh, that means I need to buy the... Oh, I can't just buy a shiv. I need to buy a level 2 shiv. I thought it was going to be easier than this. No. And so, instead of being a grown-up and this man cleaning up his own problem, his own mistakes, he instead just goes out the door, doesn't buy a single thing, and leaves it to... Why'd I do engineering? But leaves it to the manager of the store to clean up. And she goes in there and nearly vomits. Nearly vomits from what this man had concocted on the crapper. When you're wondering who in God's name had hurt that man's stomach to create such a foul atrocity. I just want to know, how down bad on the crapper do you have to be for you to miss everything on the toilet? Like, never have I had it where I'm like, I'm gonna burst, and it's like, it looks like a Vietnam War reenactment. It's just body, limbs, blood, some guy crying, the soldiers singing the Mickey Mouse Clubhouse song. I do regret buying that engineering. God, that was stupid on my part. Lifesteal, we're definitely gonna want that. Ooh! See, that's what the old man could have used. That stupid turret. Lock it. We finally got it. I feel like this guy's going to have increased luck with upgrading his stuff. I've also been playing a lot of Elden Ring lately. Mainly just helping people get through bosses. Which I know is like there's a very big elitist ideology around Elden Ring and the Soulsborne community as a whole, where it's like, you're only playing the game right if you don't get help. But it's like, some people just want to get through this game. I understand that, like, there are some people who just don't have the skills to play Elden Ring and don't want to feel like they're being carried through this game, like they want to do their part as well. And, which is perfectly fine. Like me, I'm just there in case you want, like, a helping hand. If you want to, chat it up or something. I mean, you can't really talk, you just exist. And sometimes you have really bad runs. Like, one of my biggest peeves about helping people is that I get it's you summoning me and that this is your run, but you have to realize that I waited for you to summon me. And it costs resources for you to summon me. And on top of that, of all things, it just is really bad for both of us when you die within 3 seconds of the round starting. If I die, that's perfectly fine. Life goes on, The boss still can be defeated. But you die, and it's like, good God, all that time wasted. And this happens a lot on Radagon/Elden Beast, where so many people just die so easily, and I'm like, God dang it. Or we die right at the end, and they can't clutch it. There was one guy who I was helping, his name was Cucco. Literally just sat there and didn't do a dang thing that entire boss fight. I don't know, I paused because I thought my mom was coming in to talk to me. But it's like, don't be that guy. Don't sit there and have your summons do everything. Like, do some things. Like, when I summoned for the final boss of the DLC, I still don't say the final boss's name because there's some people who haven't gotten that far, and I don't want to spoil it. Sorry, but I'm not like that. When the DLC's out for like a good good year or two, then I'll actually say like, hey, this is the final boss. The only reason I say Radon/Elden Beast is because the game's been out long enough to the point where no one cares. But, the final boss, like, it's definitely something that either you play with a certain playstyle, or you summon. And with that, it's just like, what do you do? I don't want to respec because I really like my, my build. Sorry about that. My mom had interrupted me. What was I talking about? Oh yeah, with, like, the final boss, like, it's okay to help out. It's okay to, like, get damage in from time to time. But don't throw your life away for the sake of honor. That's just not worth it. And I see that so much with certain Elden Ring players, where it's like, oh, I have to help them, or I feel like I'm not doing anything. The only time I say that's an acceptable sort of approach is when you summon someone that says, let me solo them. When you summon someone who wants to solo bosses for you, let them do it for the sake of their honor. Like, we had a guy who spent like 30 minutes buffing himself for Melania the Hell Egg Tree fight. And when he summoned his other friend, because you can have up to 2 summons, it was a let me solo her, bro. And it wasn't, the let me solo him. It wasn't the let me solo her. It was just a guy who was like, hey, I want to solo her. Which is perfectly fine. We respected it. But then that guy got mollywopped, because he got stuck in waterfowl of all things. I mean, why do I say of all things? That's usually the killer. That's the one thing that no one likes about Melania. No one likes waterfowl because of how hectic it is, and how long it goes on, and how much of the battlefield she can cover with it, and how much health she gets back even if you block it. But it's like, I hate these elitists that are like, oh, don't use Mimic Tier, don't use summons, do this with bare hands because you didn't get that in Dark Souls. No, you still got summons in Dark Souls. You could summon friends. And believe me, if it's like your first playthrough, by all means, play it however you want. But if you really want to challenge yourself, get better at the game, then by all means, stop summoning people. Stop using, plus 10 Mimic Tier or plus 10 Black Knife Tiche. I'm sick of this elitist status around it where we put people to shame for certain things. Like, I get tired of seeing clips where people purposely stay out of fights when being summoned just to make the person feel bad about summoning. It's like, why? Like, I saw one where a guy had refused to enter the battlefield and just watched the dude die. Another person just decided to throw himself into Melania for no apparent reason. Another person just combusted themselves. It's like, and you look at it and you go, this can't be by accident. This is on purpose. They're doing this on purpose to send a message of, hey, the Dark Souls and the Soulsborne Elden Ring community does not like it when you summon. That's perfectly fine if you don't want to do it, but don't be a dick and ruin it for everyone else. Because it's just unnecessary. And we get it, you've beaten the game barehanded, you've beaten the game with, a Rock Band drum kit. You've beaten the game during a prostate exam. Congratulations. But guess what? Not everyone's like that. Not everyone cares that much. And, like, it also peeves into the territory of me hating challenge runs. Because challenge runs have been run into the ground at this point, and it's just so stupid with what people concoct nowadays. It's like, oh, I beat Elden Ring with my fish tortellini. Yes, I'm talking about the Point Crow video. I think that's a stupid challenge. Like, cool, a fish can beat Elden Ring. It's not like something I would want to sit and watch. It just seems utterly boring. The point of challenge runs is that it's somewhat interesting because of the pacing you put behind it. Whenever you do a challenge run, it's always with the pseudo-objective of doing it as fast as possible. It's not wasting time doing these side quests or waiting for the fish to get there. More crits, please, yes. More crits, more dodge. More There's only one weapon I would trade for at this point. I'm not seeing it come up. It's like the flaming knuckle. That's always a good one. If that came up, then yeah, I'd probably swap out my shiv for that. But then again, we also got to look at... I need to start upgrading my elemental stuff. I'm definitely going with the scared wiener. I don't know why, but whenever I look at the scared sausage, I always think of... I don't know if you had these at your book fairs, or if you're not American, you probably didn't have book fairs like we did. But whenever I had the Scholastic Book Fair, there were always those books that was The Curse of the Campfire Weenies or The Return of the Campfire Weenies. And I don't know if anyone else knows that book series, but for some reason I saw the art of that and it was like, heck yeah. Also recently, because I'm doing a video essay on a banned book that's been making the rounds in schools of getting banned, I noticed that the very common, like, scary storybook, like I forget what it has on the cover, I'm pretty sure it's like a clown, but it's like the scary storybook basically everyone's read, because it's supposed to be like, ooh, scary stories, and they're kind of mediocre if you ask me. Like, one of them has to do with I don't know why I remember this one specifically, but it had to do with a kid who was very curious what the bottom of a lake looked like, and to do this, he took a plastic bag and filled it with oxygen, and that was going to be his oxygen supply as he went deeper, and he started, like, finding, like, the center of the universe and God and everything in there. Sounds crazy, I know, but it's a true story. Damage 42. See, I'm wondering... Here's what I should do. I'll start locking in level 4s. Because you know what that does for us? That gives us options. We can start looking at something better than the Shiv. Like, the Shiv's good because it sends out electricity, but that's about it. But apparently, like, parents have been complaining about that book, wanting it banned, because they're like, it's inappropriate, it's scary for kids. And it's like... Yeah, if your kid's like a soy boy, maybe. Like, I read and I wasn't scared at all. Then again, I've been enthralled in horror since I was a kid. And for some reason that my mom thinks that means there's something wrong with me. Like, I remember as a kid, every time I would talk about, like, something that was cool to me, like one of my favorite games is The Evil Within. And I'm not gonna lie, there's judgmental people in my life because of the things I like, but it's like, at the end of the day, I'm happy. I'm not hurting anyone or doing anything illegal. This isn't my coming out as, like, a furry or anything. I'm just telling you, like, there are some people that, like, if I tell people, like, hey, one of my favorite slice of life animes is, Monthly Girl Nozaki-kun. And it, you know, it's sort of a feminine slice of life anime, but I still really like it. I still think it's really good. Because it involves a girl wanting to fall in love with a boy, and he's too enthralled in his manga to notice her. Yeah, that does sound kind of fruity. But, I know, like, I don't really have anyone outside my friends to talk to this stuff about, so it's like, when I get to talk about this stuff, I'm like, hey, let me tell you about this really cool anime. Actually, a fully powered, if we can get a level 4 SMG, that'd probably be the way to go. Mainly because the SMG, when maxed out, fires really, really fast. I'm gonna want this. I like how coked out my potato looks at this point.
I'm engineering my fucking limit!
Oh, jeez. I've never seen leeches. That's interesting. Nice mandibles. Ooh. Do you think leeches leech off each other in the wild? Do you think that's just a thing they do? Like, if one leech sucks blood out of someone, and it's just plump with blood. There's a phrase I thought I'd never say. If it's plump with blood, does another leech just, like, suck on it to get that blood, and then it creates kind of like this Ouroboros of leeching off each other while they are the ones who leeched in the first place? It's 10 p.m. There's no time for riddles. You know, I'm gonna do that just because I have a plan. Boom, 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 boom. Because if I can get that black potion one more time, 50% chance to heal. that's really good. Thank you, I like that. 20% of your materials. Wait, what? Oh, okay, I get it. So, the reason it says it stops working at wave 20 is because that's when you fight the boss, and that's when the run is officially over. But you can set it to endless, like I said, during wave 19, which we're on wave 13, which is really, really good for being good old one arm. Oh boy. Yeah, but I'm just not like a very shared person. Because like growing up, I try to share my interests with people, but it'd always be like people didn't know what I was talking about, or they would find it weird. Like I've always said, one of my favorite N64 games was and still is to this game, Gex 3 and Gex 64. I know, get your booze out of the way, because everyone says Gex is jank. Guess what? Don't care. That game, those games, my childhood. Freaking loved Gex. But, the biggest problem with Gex is that it's so niche. When I went to high school, no one knew about it. But everybody was playing COD and playing with Bakugans. And, well, I didn't know what Bakugans were. I was bullied for not knowing what Bakugans were. Then again, Bakugans were like a nerd thing. Nerds. Oh, scissors are interesting because they give lifesteal. But what I want more of is that shady potion, because there is an achievement for getting -2, I think it is, lifesteal. And that the reason that's hard to get is because of how rare, not lifesteal, health regen. How rare it is to get stuff that takes away health regeneration. Which, does that mean I'd start owing health? Like some sort of debt? God, I gotta get out of here. I gotta find a moldy potato. God, heal me. Please, shoot me. Sentry. Oh God, is this? No, it's not my last stand. Not yet. Ooh. Oh, we bring it back. We grab victory from the jaws of defeat. God, all these little munchkins running around like it's Willy Wonka's chocolate factory. Oompa loompa oompa dee dee. I drank too much water and now have to pee. Plus 30 range. That doesn't really help me because I'm a melee person. We'll take our free reroll. He's gotta catch 'em all, 'cause he's Danny Phantom. That'll do. Head injury's always good. Silver bullets kinda lame. God, like I look like a pig that hasn't slept in 8 months. God, my potatoes look better. Get on. Keep on keeping on. Get out of here. Now take this tree. I'm gonna take it and leave. George Washington, did you chop down my cherry tree? Why don't we talk about it over a Coors? Oh God. See, this is where the engineer's kind of superior. Because when he has turrets and stuff, they all spawn in the same location, so I know where to go for my health. But with how sporadic things are and how many bullets are flying across the screen, it's turning into Toho. Oh my God. Where's my dodge bonuses? Jesus Christ. Give me that. Oh my God, that was not worth it. That was not worth it. Lame. Huh. That kind of made the audio in the recording kind of look like a wiener. I'll take it. Alright, so that was the new guy. But what do I really want to do? I'm going to do one more run. And it's going to be a serious one. I could try old again. Mutant's interesting. I'd want someone who would complement the engineer lifestyle. pacifist. Minus 100% damage, minus 100. So this guy's whole goal is to survive without killing someone. This is the kind of run you'd want to dedicate to dodge and movement speed. I'm gonna do the pruners just because. The pruners are very much a necessity because they give us... Oh. This guy's environment's really weird. Oh my god, look at that damage. Holy crap. You know, I think we could pull this back. I think I can change him, Dad. Alright. Do I want to stick with the melee route? Because let's think what we get. With melee, he's at minus 100 engineering. We can't really go engineer route with him because that'd be stupid. I kind of want to reroll to get... Yeah, dodge. Why not? Do that. Lock in the pruners. We're gonna want speed. There we go. Well, all's fair in love and war. Stop moving! I mean, what? No, keep moving. Get out of there. Get away from me. Get your butthole-looking faces away from me. I don't know what man has a butthole that looks like this, but good God. The good news is that if we lower our ranged, our melee gets a small boost. Unfortunately, it's not like Pokemon where it ignores all debuffs. Alright, keep the coupon, reroll, pruners, cool. Would there even be a point to upgrading the pruners? I don't think so. Maybe it'll increase how much potatoes we get. But look at us. Like, we're still doing one. We're still doing one. Good God. I hate the pacifist. I'm not a pacifist. I want to kill. I want to slay. I don't play Doom to have a tea party with the demons. I'm there to slay the demons. It's like why Mike Wazowski got a car to run people over. We don't want that. None of these, actually. Dodge. Just keep going. Dodge. Nothing else. Just dodge. That's all there is at the end of the day. More harvesting. Doot. Alright. See you in the next wave. Whee! Look at... Oh, God. You know, collectively we're doing 3 damage. Oh, that's the saddest thing I've heard since... Oh, nope, that just takes it. That's the saddest thing. Actually, you know what? There was one kid who said their mom liked wrestling with the neighbors. That just instills hope for the future. More prunes! More pruners! Good God. What's my luck? Have I raised my luck? No. Well, then we'll keep that locked in. Why not? More harvesting. God, this is awful. Look at all my potato farms. Get out of here. God, it takes all 5 of them and some change to kill one. Good God Almighty. Good Bruce Almighty. This is painful. Like, there's some sort of dopamine hit whenever I kill an enemy, and I'm slowly being robbed of that for I'm killing like 2 people per wave. God, it's... You know what this reminds me of? If you grew up in the early 2000s, you probably heard of Kid Cities. they were this program that would come to your school, and you'd get to be like firemen or nurses, and I wanted to be a police officer because that seemed fun. But this is like playing a police officer, but they tell me I can't shoot people in Kid City. Why the hell not? I'm a police officer. That's what we'll combine. Who cares? Now begins the arc of getting level 2. Watch us still do crap net. It does 1 still. They're leveled up and they don't go past 1. Oh my god. My back's also sticking to my chair, so you're hearing me rustle around a lot. It's like I'm fighting demons over here. I also think my room is haunted with the ghost of Barry B. Benson, because for some reason, I'll just be sitting here with my headphones off, and all I'll hear is, "You like jazz?" Or I'll hear B-movie quotes. I haven't seen that movie in like 5 years. I don't know why the ghost of Barry B. Benson is in my house. But you know what they say, to fight a ghost, you gotta become a ghost. So I'm gonna quickly snap my neck, and I'll get back to you guys. Oh my god. Let's just get all that. More pruners. Woo! Turning into Muscle Man. Woo! Oh my... Do we know anybody that could help us with this audit? I know someone who could help us with an audit. My mom. What are you guys doing? You ever realize how Skips from Regular Show sounds kind of like the old lady from SpongeBob that hates chocolate? What are you boys? Mordecai, what are you doing? Chocolate. I hate chocolate, especially with nuts. I remember when they first invented chocolate. I hate it. Rub it on my skin, Mary. I wanna feel young. God. Dude, this is just the Metal Gear Rising meme. It's just, in the end, I realize they're just like me, trying to make history. Like, God, I'm not doing anything. God, I feel so powerless. Is this what it feels like to be white in a black neighborhood? Am I this powerless? Plus 5 damage every... That'll be our counterbalance. This is it, boys. The counterbalance. This is when we strike. Oh. I love how I just machine gun his stomach with pruners and he walks it off like I just flicked his hardcore abs. God, it's like what Frieza says. You could just grind meat on those bad boys. It's like in Baki when Biscuit Oliver's fighting the dude who's good at hand pocket. And the dude just breaks his hand on Oliver's abs because he's like, "Oh, you know it's game when I tighten my abs like this." Baki's peak. Changed my mind. That reminds me, I gotta watch that Baki x King and Asura crossover. God! Can I please just get some health? Can the wave be over? You know the good thing? At least at the end of every wave, we know I'm getting more health. Oh boy, more pruners. Yeah. Alright, I think... Alright, we're just gonna get on with it. We're gonna do what's right. How much... 3... 3... We're doing 1 damage. We're doing 3 damage in total. Like Scoob. Why? Oh. God, I love how we're just going the full medic route. Do damage to him, lads. We can't, sir. He's healing too fast. Oh my god, it's just a sea of buttholes trying to eat me. And they're succeeding. Give me food. God, get me out of here. How is this possible? How are you supposed to beat it with the stupid, Please, health, serenity now. God, I could crush a bowling ball between my butt cheeks. I'm that tense. God. Oh my god, what's the point? You can't fight him. And our dodge isn't that great either. We need more speed. I want to go fast. You're too slow. You're too slow. I'm on the verge of tears because of the life decisions I made. I like how I give myself speed and I'm about to take away with the Knight's Helm. Alright. Back to basics. We're halfway there. See you at the top, Sandy, because I'm already halfway there. Rev up those fryers! I got a hankering for a Krabby Patty. Get out, you freeloader. Mr. Squidward, open this damn door! What's your guys' favorite SpongeBob episode? I've never really given mine any thought. Honestly, this sounds out. Actually, now that I think of it, I think the one I know the best is probably the. That doesn't mean it's my favorite. I'm diverting my own question. But the one I know the best is probably the Box of Imagination, which I really liked. God dang it. Because growing up, I had this. How would you even describe it? It was like an electronic book. You know the ones where you like touch the pen and it would read the words with you? Because of like, I think it was magnets or like, it was like the like sort of touch pads you would have that like would emit a sound. And it's like, because of the pressure of the pen, it would emit the words and you would read along with it. I remember I had one on the imaginary box as a kid. And that was always interesting. So I know that one best. I don't know, Magic Conch Shell's up there. I think that one's really good. And no, we don't count the SpongeBob movie. That one does not count. For every different weapon, tier 1 weapon. Oh wait, for every different tier 1 weapon. Alright. Oh, stupid king, you can't. Okay, fine. Wait, mine's. Alright. I love how I said that was my last run, but then I changed my own mind. Like, you see how this fires now? And if you go over to it, it increases range with each level up. So that's why SMGs can be quite dangerous. I think when it comes down to it, whatever build you're running, you need to commit to one specific weapon, not to a litany of them. Attack speed up. Gotta go with you, because why not? Get that for knockback. Alright. I think what I'm gonna do is... I probably should have grabbed the glasses, I'm an idiot. Because with the king, the problem is that for every tier 1, like I said, we get lower attack. And what I want to do is I want to upgrade this SMG, possibly get a second one. So I'll have 2 slots to that. Will give me 4 opportunities for turrets and mines, as well as buying mines and turrets from the store. Yeah, I'll do. Alright, 5 damage, because that's unrelated. Spawn a turret, you bet your bippy. Come at me. Show me what you're made of. Show me your Sonic Chew medallion. It's weird that that has basically become a cursed item of the internet. And a lot of people are jumping on the bandwagon that the Chris Chan medallions are cursed. And if you don't know about the curse of the Chris Chan medallion, allow me to give you insight to this tragic tale. The Chris Chan medallions were rare artifacts that no one ever thought would come to be, but Chris Chan had created 2 of them. One was from a friend, I believe. I think that's how the first one came about. And we all, if you're not familiar, Chris basically did unspeakable acts to that person and, well, tried to commit unspeakable acts to that person. And because of that, their friendship fell out. Chris then would take the second medallion and shove it up his ass after a troll named Blue Spike had trolled him into shoving it up his ass, threatening that he was messaging underage children and that if Chris didn't shove the medallion up his ass, that he was going to call Chris Hansen. And Chris Chan, being afraid that Chris Hansen was going to be on his case, took that medallion and rammed it up his rear. You could probably find the video on YouTube, not on YouTube, somewhere on the internet. Probably up there with, like, Finger Pain Olympics and 2 Girls, 1 Cup, but I don't see why you would. But Chris, having done this now, is on to the third one. Third one, I believe he made after he transitioned, and anyone who knows how Chris Chan's transitional phase went, you know it wasn't pretty. Oh yeah, I believe that was the medallion Chris Chan was wearing when he fought the GameStop employee and ended up pepper spraying him because they changed Sonic's arms from tan to blue. And Chris Chan also had a problem with GameStop because Sonic Boom had come out, and Chris Chan wasn't okay with the new Sonic design. As though GameStop had any sort of fight on that. That would have been up to Cartoon Network and Sega. God, Chris Chan's wild. There's this has nothing to do with the medallions, but there was also that time that Chris Chan, God, what was my train of thought? Oh yeah, Chris Chan, while on Omegle to try and seduce women. You're gonna love this one. While on Omegle to try and seduce women, Chris Chan would take a sex doll and start spinning it around on his dick like it was a record. To try and seduce women. And then that's when Chris decided to transition, thinking it would be easier to get women as a woman. And that's when we got Christine Chandler instead of Chris Chandler. The next medallion up on the list, I believe, was given to iDubbbz, which, if you know anything about iDubbbz, then you know iDubbbz went from meme lord and internet vigilante to basically being a cuck and taking his girlfriend's OnlyFans pictures for her. He even looks defeated. The man looks like he's fighting stage 5 chemotherapy. Not to make fun of anyone on chemo, but like he looks rough. The next one, God, who was after iDubbbz? I'm trying to think. God, who was after iDubbbz? There was one more after iDubbbz. Because their life also went to hell. I can't remember. Apologize. I try my best. I try my best to remember all the victims of the Christianity. But then, the latest one... Oh, wait. It was Crip Daddy. That was it. Crip Daddy had gotten a Chris Chan medallion to complete his Chris Chan cosplay. And Crip Daddy... How'd I die? But anyways, I'll finish this and then it'll probably be the video. But anyways, Crip Daddy, God rest his soul, was a fucking genius. I loved Crip Daddy. His humor was phenomenal for a guy who was born the way he was, which he was, you know, immobile from the neck down. I believe he had ALS. I can't really speak on that. I can't speak on what he had because I don't really know. But the last thing he did before he passed away was his JonTron collaboration, which was the first time a lot of people got to witness how good Crip Daddy was at his humor and his brand of humor. I loved his shit. Every time I saw him and Ricky Berwick pop up on Twitter, I knew it was going to be a good day, because it would be them taking people who are complaining about things they have no right to complain about down a peg. And then after Crip Daddy had passed away from the amulet, this guy named Nick gets it. And he gets it in a very ominous way. He receives it in a box with a burned letter inside. And he starts wearing the Sonic Chew medallion, not thinking anything can go wrong. The next month of this dude's life is a spiral downwards. You'll learn that Nick had been doing hardcore drugs, had been having an affair with his co-host's ex-wife, and there's even a clip where she's giving him head underneath his desk, and his co-host is like, oh yeah, there's no need to speculate, that is my ex-wife underneath there. I'm like, bro. And then Nick ends up getting his house raided by the FBI and getting his wife, his side piece, and himself all arrested in the same day. And it's hilarious. There's also a lot of other allegations about Nick, but we will get to that. But anyways, thank you everybody so much for watching. We've covered a lot in this video. An hour and 11 minutes. Good recording session. I hope you have a great day, night, whenever you're listening to this. Hey, maybe you're even listening to this while you try to go off to sleep. In which case, sleep tight, children.